Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I'm MA Tour, and today I'm going over my Red Dragon Archfiend deck profile today, so I hope you guys enjoy. So yeah, this deck it's been one of my first decks that I built, and I've been recently just adding more and more to it. So yeah, let's start this. So starting off with tuner monsters, I run one Chain Resonator. This card, when this card's normal summoned, and if I control a synchro monster, I can special summon another Resonator monster with a different name from my deck. So yeah, nice level 1, easy way to just get out more tuners if I need just a higher level one. Next I run one Clock Resonator, a level 3 tuner, and once per turn this face-up defense position card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So yeah, like this would be a good target from Chain Resonator to easily just special summon in defense mode, that way you can have its effect off. Also, being a level 3 tuner, that's also like the main level 4 tuners in this deck, so yeah. So keeping with level 3, I run 3 Dark Resonators. Simple, it's a Dark level 3 Resonator Fiend monster. Once returned, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. Now this card is it's the main tuner of the deck, mainly just for the level 3 part of it, and yeah, that's basically it. Next, I run one Mirror Resonator, level 1 Fiend, and if your opponent controls a Synchro Monster, you can copy the level of that Synchro Monster onto and make this monster that same level. So yeah, it's an easy way to just get the right levels. Yeah, just an easier way to get the right proper levels for more synchros. Next I run 2 Red Resonators. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand. When this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up monster on the field and gain life points equal to its attack points. So you can only activate once per turn. So yeah, this is just an easier way for just synchroing, special summoning other monsters to go into the synchro, and then possibly just gaining more life points if you're low. So yeah, it's a nice tuner monster. Next, as the last tuner monster, I run one Synchron Resonator. If I control a synchro monster on the field, I can special summon this. Then I can special summon from my hand if I control a synchro monster, and then it's sent from field to graveyard. I can target one Resonator monster in my graveyard, accept itself, and add it to my hand. So it's just an easier way for just level 1 tuner, and then it's just an easier way for just more recycling. So yeah. Next, moving on to monsters, I run 2 Interplanetary Purpley Thorny Dragons. Yeah, just the name is a mouthful. It's a level 5 Dark Dragon monster, 2200 attack, 1100 defense. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effects, and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. So yeah, it's just an easier way to bring out all 5 monster in order to then later tune with one of the resonators in order to bring out, say, like the main staple Red Dragon Archfiend. So yeah, just quick, easy level 5. Then I run 2 Red Gardeners. During other players, it's a fire level 4 monster, 2000 defense. When your opponent activates a card effect while you control a Red Dragon Archfiend monster. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, and monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects. So yeah, just an easy protection card, as well as a nice set, as well as a nice setting defense. That way they can attack into it. 2000 defense. Simple. Yeah. It's also good for single material. Next I run is one red mirror and the level 1 fire monster fiend. When your opponent declares an attack, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Then you can target one fire fiend type monster in your graveyard except red mirror and add it to your hand. Um, and then during the damage step on the turn that this card was sent to the graveyard, you can add one card. Yeah, you can just easily just retrieve this card again later on. So yeah, just an easy way again for more recycling. Yeah, just a better way for more recycling. So next I run 3 red sprinters. It's a fire attribute, level 4 fiend type monster, 1700 attack, 1200 defense. When this card is normal or special summoned, while you control no other monsters, you can special summon one level 3 or lower fiend type tuner monster from your hand or graveyard, and you can only use the effect once per turn. So so again, it's just an easier way to do fast synchro summoning. So yeah. And it's also a target for red mirror as well. So yeah. And then I run one red warg. It's a fire attribute, level 6 fiend type monster. When you normal summon a Resonare monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, but its attack becomes halved. But if you bring out a Resonare monster, you're going to immediately use this to synchro summon another monster. So yeah, just an easier, faster way to keep synchroing. And of course, finishing up the monsters, I run 3 Vice Dragon. It's a dark attribute, dragon type monster, level 5, 2000 attack, 2400 defense. When your opponent controls a monster and you don't, you can special summon this monster from your hand, but its attack and defense become halved. But if you use this effect, you're probably gonna immediately, like, besides just like maybe putting up defense if you don't have a good hand, possibly just synchro summoning immediately. So yeah, that's a nice synchro material monster. And then moving on to some spell cards, I run 1 Pod Duality. Effect is simple. Excavate the top 3 cards in your deck. Add 1 to your hand, shuffle the rest of them into your deck, but you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn. So yeah, I would recommend only using this like if you have stall tactics ready, or if you're ready for, or if you already have a synchro out. So yeah, just a good searching card. Next, I run 2 Resonator Calls. Effect is just a normal spell card. Add 1 Resonator monster from your deck to your hand. And with this deck, you have about like 8 or 9 targets for this, so depending on what the situation calls for, you can easily just retrieve your Resonator monster. Yeah. Next, following suit, I run 2 Resonator Engine. You can select 2 Resonator monsters in your graveyard, add 1 level 4 monster from your deck to your hand, then you can shuffle the 2 selected monsters and return them to your deck. So yeah, it's just an easier, again, more recycling power. So yeah, you can just keep going, and Although you're more limited with the level 4s since there's only red Gardener and red Sprinter, so that's just 6 monsters. No, that's just 5 monsters you can target with this, so yeah. Next, moving on, I run 1 Synchro Cracker. Target 1 Synchro monster you control, and return it to the extra deck, and if you do, destroy all monsters face up on the field that your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to the Synchro monster's original attack. So it's just a really simple just destruction, like field destruction, mainly with Red Dragon Archfiend, 3000 attack, so you can easily just destroy all cards your opponent controls unless they have something with high attack points. Moving on, I run 1 enemy controller, a quick play spell. You can either target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, change that target to its battle position, or you can trigger 1 monster you control and then take control of opponent's monster for that turn. I like setting this card and then activating it when they attack, that way I can just stop their attack like when they're going, so yeah. Then I run, another quick play spell I run is 1 Mystical Space Typhoon. Just an easier, fast spell trap destruction, which it always comes in handy, considering this deck doesn't really have too much of that. It only has like mainly just offensive power, so you need some spell back row destruction. Then finishing up the spell cards, I run 1 Shrink. I run this card, well, target 1 face-up monster on the field. Its original attack points become halved. So it's just a good spell card when you run like an offensive deck such as this one. Moving on to traps, I run 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device. The effect is simple, just target 1 monster on the field and shuffle it back and return it to the hand. So yeah, just an easy, just bouncing effect. Opponent attacks, you can just bounce it back to your hand. If they spend a while summoning, just bounce it back. If it's extra deck monster, it just goes back to the extra deck. So yeah. Next I run is 2 Half Unbreaks. You can target 1 monster on the field, and then that monster cannot be destroyed by battle this turn, and all battle damage you take is halved, so just an easier way to protect your monsters. Next up I run is 1 Red Carpet. If a dragon type synchro monster is on the field, target up to 2 Resnare monsters in your graveyard, then special summon them. So yeah, it's just an easier way to bring out the stronger synchros. Next up, with more red support, I run 2 Red Cocoons. Target 1 dragon type synchro monster you control, equip this card to it, and then when it is battling your opponent cannot. When battling an opponent's monster, your opponent yeah, it negates all your opponent's card effects until the end of the damage step. And then during the end phase of this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can target a Red Dragon Archfiend graveyard, special summon it. So yeah, it's just again, it's an easier way to bring back synchros to the main monster zone instead of just having them in the extra monster. You can bring them into the main monster zone. So yeah. Next I run is 2 Abyss Stungray. This card allows me, it's simple monster trap. It's a level 5 light aqua monster, and it can't be destroyed by battle. It also has 1900 attack, so bring it out in defense mode. Your opponent cannot destroy it, but still treat it as a trap card, so they can easily just destroy it with any type of spell trap destruction. But yeah, it's also great synchro material for this deck, and yeah. Then I run is 1 Call of the Haunted, again just to bring out return synchros from the graveyard to the main monster zone. You can also pair it up with Synchro Cracker to then return it to the extra deck, but then you'll just have Call of the Haunted just floating there. So yeah. Then finishing up the main deck in traps, I run one King Scarlet. If a Red Dragon Archfiend you control battles, during damage calculation, make the monster um, basically makes your monster unable to be destroyed by battle. Introduce special summon this card as a normal monster, and it's a level 1 fiend type tuner monster, so yeah. It's a nice tuner monster trap card. Okay, so moving on to the extra deck. I run one Red Wyvern. Level 6, Dragon type monster requires just one tuner, one non-tuner. Easily to bring out with a Red Sprinter, Red Resonator. Then during either player turn, if a monster with a higher attack than the synchro summoned card is on the field, you can destroy the one face-up monster that has higher attack of your choice. Your choice of tide, and yeah. Basically does more monster destruction. Then moving on, I run one Chaos King Archfiend. Level 7 Dark Fiend type monster, 2600, 2600. When this card declares an attack, you can switch the attack and defense stats of all face-up monsters your opponent controls until the end of battle phase. So yeah, saying like they'll have like the high attack but low defense like a lot of monsters. You can usually just switch them and attack over them with a lot of yours. So yeah, it's a nice card. Then I run one Exploder Dragonwing. Um, Level 7 Dark Dragon Monster, 2400 attack, 1600 defense. Fact is simple, you can just, when this card battles an opponent's monster with the higher attack points, you can just automatically destroy that monster and this monster. So yeah, like basically just like Exploder Dragon, basically just for more destruction. Next is one Crimson Blader. Level 8 Fire Attribute Warrior type monster. 2800 attack points, 2600 defense points. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, your opponent cannot normal or special summon level 5 or higher monsters during their next turn, so yeah, it's just a great way to just stop your opponent from making moves. So yeah. Just shut them down for the next, but they can still Xyz. Next, moving on, I run one Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. Level 8 Dark Attribute Dragon Monster, 2000 defense, 3000 attack points. Once per turn, during your main phase 1, you can just destroy all monsters in face-up attack position your opponent controls. No, all other monsters on the field besides this card and cannot attack that turn. So yeah, it's basically just like a monster version of Mirror Force. The only downside is also destroys your field if you're not careful. So yeah. Next, as this deck would say, 3 Red Dragon Archfiends. I run 3 just because why not? Just requires level 8 Dark Attribute Dragon Monster, 3000, 2000. When this monster destroys a defense position monster your opponent controls, destroy all other defense monsters they control. Also, if at the end phase, if any of your monsters did not attack this turn, they are automatically destroyed. So yeah, just be careful with that. Yeah. Also, this is the main monster in this deck, just easy ways to bring it out. Next up, finishing up the extra deck, I run one Red Nova Dragon. This requires 2 tuners and 1 Red Dragon Archfiend, 3500 attack points and 3000 defense, a level 12 Dark Attribute Dragon Synchro. This card gains 300 attack points for each tuner monster in your graveyard. So that means it can gain an additional 4. If all your tuner monsters are in your graveyard, you can gain an additional 4500 attack point boost, giving it, I think, 45 plus this. That'd be like 8,000 attack points. So, and this card cannot be destroyed by card effects, as well as When it declares an attack, you can target the attacking monster, banish this card, and then negate the attack during the end phase. Special summon this monster back to the field, so it's sort of similar to Stardust Dragon's effect. So yeah, this is an easier, more powerful Red Dragon Archfiend. So everyone, that does it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like the content, why not subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. I know I don't have like the Scarlet Dragon Archfiend in this deck because I don't own that card. A lot of the cards I don't have in the decks are just because I don't own them. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you like the content, leave a like, leave a comment, tell me. Yeah. So anyway, guys, I am MA Tour, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.